to start doing TikTok videos.
Good night. Good night, everybody.
Good night. Good night.
Good evening, everyone.
Evening blessings and salutations to the LNE fam. How is everyone doing? Who's on tonight?
Yes, how is everybody doing?
We are back.
We are back from our little hiatus. Hope everybody is doing well. Their families are doing well. We took a little well-needed break, but we are back.
And we're glad to be back.
Yes, we are glad to be back. Who all? I'm trying to log in here to see who all is here.
I won't be able to.
Ooh, I almost messed up. Oh, I got my cousin on. Hey, Nigma. Good evening, everybody.
Nigma.
Hey, Nikki, hey, Patricia, Shay, Grantley, Vanessa, another St. Martin cousin. Anyway, again, I want to thank everybody. I also want to thank everybody who's been still contributing to the posting, to the jokes, to the enlightened comments. I want to again thank our guests that have been, coming along this journey with us. Hopefully, we'll have new guests that will join us. Before we start into the conversation tonight, we wanted to kind of touch base a little bit on some of the posts that generated a lot of comments and views as well. Is there a particular one you wanted to discuss, Mr. Lucien? Since you like to start conversation on the page.
I mean, since you're the moderator, we sent you all the information, so I think we should.
Yeah, but I don't know. I don't know which one. Do you want to discuss? We had a couple that had a lot of comments. I mean, we're not going to talk about them, but one was we did a question of the day. What do you enjoy most about dating after 40? We had a post too. We asked everybody, 1,200 members, to post a picture and give us a fun fact. And I appreciate everybody who, commented, posted their pictures. And it's open for more people to add their pictures. But one of the topics or one of the posts that seemed to generate a lot of conversation was by Mbaku, alias. I won't say the name. And it was one that said, only men can love a woman with no money, no house, or no car. Only a man can love a woman and expect nothing in return. Women can't do that. A woman's love comes with conditions.
Debbie,
I know.
Okay.
It's acting up.
Okay.
A woman's love comes with conditions. You must have this and that. A man just wants peace. Only thing women love unconditionally is their kids. Y'all have any comments?
I see some truth to that. I think a lot of times, like, the man is the last one. Like, you have the kids, you have the job, you have the ambition, and then it comes the man last. Whereas, like, men, if a woman is not as financially available or stable, I should say, as the man is, I mean, I think that, yeah, like, he would give her opportunity. But most women don't like broke men. If you can't take me out to eat, me want to deal with you. Not even like, go ahead.
You know something, Lucien, based on what you're saying, what that says to me is that women prefer to be in a much more stable place, I think, than, they want to be able to definitely, I think it has a level of independence that speaks about that women want to be in that stable place before they can go forward. I mean, based on what you're saying, but I also agree with the fact that I think men don't mind. I don't mind if I would like, of course, it'll be nice if you got something going on, at least a job. But you could be in transition. People could be in transition for whatever reason, and you could be in a position to uplift. But the thing is, you work at it together.
Exactly.
You work at it together. I think. I mean, yeah, women probably, like I said, they want to be in a good space, because they want to feel like they're bringing something, I guess. And I wanted to talk about that, but I guess we could get into that later, because there was I think it was a post, was a conversation with regards to, bringing what to the table and what table are we talking about. So we could get into that later.
Yeah.
Yeah, because there was a post. Go ahead.
Men ask that question, what are you bringing to the table? So I don't know. And I don't know if it's an age thing. I don't know.
Well, I saw where young lady talk about, the women bring companionship, but you can get companionship any place. You can get that anywhere. Let's be honest. I mean,
which post we talking about? What you're bringing to
this was one. I don't remember which one this was. No, this was another one.
And even self too. I think a lot of females still think that like bringing sex to the table is like that's their.
Come on, you get that anywhere.
Yeah, exactly. I'm just saying, like, when I
was
in high school,
but the thing is, women need to realize that they hold the key to that, because they already know who they want to sleep with. A man have to do the work. Men have to do the work to get the J. We can't just say that we're gonna go and conquer. Women give us the right to enter their realm. We can't just take it. So women have that control. They need to recognize that.
They do.
Did I just say vajay?
Yeah, you did.
What? For lack of better terms,
I lost for words. I didn't make a comment with Situmbak post. I had no comments to make on that. Remember, I still ain't got no comments on that. I just think and these two ain't sell me on what they're saying. So I still lost. I don't know how to respond to it. What women bring into the table, I think the only thing you could bring to any table is yourself. You can't get yourself no place else. So if you feel like all women is the same, then I suggest, just like I suggested on that post, then go for it then. If you think you could find Pinky or Debbie or whoever everywhere in every woman, then I suggest you go for it. And then you come back and tell me how was that.
So what's that thing in your hand? What's that?
A henna.
The front. In the front of it. The front.
A henna tattoo.
Both of them. I practicing how to do hennas.
You practicing on yourself?
Yeah.
Oh wow, that one is very strong.
I don't want to show the one in the inside because that one is really bad.
I want to see it. I mean, let me be the judge of it.
Like, the artist is speaking, Trina.
This one is done with a stencil, so you can see this one.
Yeah, the other one is very profound. Oh wow.
This one is done freehand. It's supposed to be the sun.
It's a good job, though.
I will not show that to the artist. This is a son, the artist. This is a son. It's terrible.
That's not bad. It's not bad.
Oh, you kind to me. Thank you. It's a hot mess. That was freehand. I told me no artist, but to do it, it's very relaxing and it'll calm my nerves and it'll calm my.
Oh, okay. So
yeah,
you usually use your hands to calm your nerves and stuff?
Yeah, I used to do adult coloring books years ago. So yes, the hands is very healing.
The hands?
I use my hands to calm my nerves too.
They are taking you down.
I use my hands to calm my nerves.
Pinky, Nicole said your henna is nice. Yours are nice as well, Nicole.
Henna, I mean.
Nicole got some dope ones. Yeah, she got some really nice ones. Those were dope.
You didn't give me any compliments on mine, Louis.
I said yours was. If you heard me, I said that's a good job. It's profound for one thing, but it's a good job. I like the one on the outside. The one on the inside for free hands, it's not bad at all. Feel better?
I want to also say good night to Halima. She's joining us on YouTube.
Hey, Halima.
I
can't see anyone tonight. Sorry, so I wouldn't be making any comments.
Okay. And okay, so another post that garnered a lot of comments was one that Sonia Keynes posted. Well, she forwarded a post, a thread, and it said, "So my boyfriend is mad at me because I went through his phone while he was asleep. By the way, I didn't find anything. But instead of arguing with me, he buys me Chipotle, snacks, and a card that says, 'I'm sorry for not making you feel safe and secure, but there's nobody else but you.'"
First of all, let's talk about the elephant in the room. Why does she? Why should I go to the man's phone if the man ain't showing you no kind of vibes? Why do you have to go through the man's phone? It seems to me that she has some trauma, from her past relationship that she's bringing into this one.
So if I go through her phone, she'll give me some Taco Bell or something. I mean, is it cool that I do that?
But you could read it.
Crazy.
You could read it another way. Maybe he was doing something. Maybe changed his pattern. He wasn't consistent with something that made her feel something was possible. Because the fact that he, let's be real. I don't know too many men personally that are going to do that, right? So if somebody did do that, because again, this could be all hearsay. This could just be somebody saying something. For him to do that, it could be that he was creating an atmosphere that made her feel like, wait a minute, something going on, and she felt like she had her own insecurities and she had to check.
So where's the question and the conversation behind that?
Huh?
Where's the inquiry? Hey, excuse me, I need to talk to you.
Again, there's a lot that we're inferring from this, because it could have been that she had said something. It could have been that he said that he was going to change certain behaviors.
It could have been.
As a result,
you're right. And that's in their world. That's in their world.
What about if she was doing something? So she was making by going through his phone that he wasn't doing something as well. How about that?
It could have been he got history of cheating. Okay, since we want to infer 1,000 things, let me infer that one.
Or she has a history of cheating also, like you said.
It could have been he got history. He did it multiple times.
But suppose she was a cheater.
Again, we are inferring, so we could just pick whatever story we want to tell. Right?
I'm just saying, because you're making it
exactly.
No, I didn't make it a fact. I'm just saying at the end of the day, we could all infer some story to suit our argument. The fact of the matter is she picked up the phone, she went through the phone. Let's say she have insecurities. Okay, we all got insecurities. At the end of the day, okay, well, I don't get it. I don't see the bad part of picking up somebody's phone and looking through it. I don't see. I'll have to explain that to me. Why is that such a bad thing?
I tell you one thing, I try and pick up my phone, I chop off your hand.
Really, Louis?
Why do I need to pick up the phone? What is I need more than it's okay.
Like I said, that's what I'm saying. Like reading that, really, we can infer, and people are going to make comments based on their experiences, things that happen to them, things that happen in relationships. You're going to approach it differently, but there's so much back story to that we don't know. Let
me ask this one question. We always talk about trust being a priority in relationships. Trust. What does that mean to trust? Just because I should take your word for it? What does that mean? If I trust you and you trust me, and I pick up your phone, why I can't touch your phone?
I would tell you, if you wanted to, you're closer to my phone. I'd say, call such and such me. Grab my phone and call. I don't have a problem with that. So I'm trusting you. To hold my phone, use my phone, and call somebody or whatever. If you need to call, look, my phone is here. Go ahead and make the call. Oh, you want to make some reservations? Go. My phone is right there. Use my phone. Make the call. Why do you need to feel that you have to go behind my back to go through my phone? I'm giving you many opportunities.
But you don't know.
Again, we're inferring here.
Right. But my
All right?
question is that
That's my approach. That's my approach. You don't need to go. I'm not giving you a reason in my world and in my realm. I'm not giving you a reason to go behind my back to go use my phone. I'll tell you on several occasions, hey, use my phone. Go ahead, it's right there. I don't have an issue with that. You don't go behind my back, because if you go behind my back to go through my phone, what else are you doing behind my back that I don't know about?
You know what? I have tried to go behind.
Sneaky.
I have tried
Sneaky.
to go behind Vincent back to see what was on his phone. I've done it. Everybody have done it. Let me stop pretending. At the end of the day, I could not get in his phone, and I could not find out anything to get in the phone. But this is why I'm gonna say I had inferred that he had something to hide. That's what I inferred, and I didn't need to see it. I was like, you hiding something from me, because if you wasn't hiding something from me, you wouldn't have a problem with me getting into your phone.
First of all,
perspective.
how do you get access into the phone? You need a password. So if I'm giving you my password to go and make a phone call, you have access to my phone already. You don't need to sneak or go around behind my back to go into my phone. You're doing it in front of me. So what's the big deal? Yeah, don't the sneakiness. This again, and that's gonna be my reality. That's what it's going to be. I'm not gonna just, because again, what is it that you're doing behind my back that I'm not aware of? What behaviors do you have? What type of behaviors do you have that causes you to want to go through my phone behind my back?
So let me answer the question instead of we inferring into Sonia's post. Again, trust is a priority in a relationship. Why is phones so off limits if trust? For me, Vincent was able to go through my phone. My kids could use my phone. I mean, as of late, at the time my kids don't use my phone, they could use my phone, but I tell them don't go in certain texts because I ain't responsible for what you see. I will tell them that plain out. But at the end of the day, or here, or whatever. But what I'm saying is this. What is the problem? If you don't have none to hide, then let them go on your phone. I ain't have none to hide. You can always go through my phone. I ain't got none to hide.
So, would going through the phone quail the person's insecurities? No.
I'm not saying that. I'm saying if somebody.
Then why go to the phone? If it's not going to quail the insecurities, then why go to the phone?
We don't know if she's insecure. We don't know if they had an issue.
Of course she's insecure.
We're inferring a lot of different things, but that don't mean he's not insecure either. All I'm saying is your mate is doubting your behavior. What do you do when your mate doubting you? So if my mate tell me, oh, Pinky, I think you to be out. If you get accused of a crime, you ain't gotta have an alibi?
Wait. Because one thing I want to, I haven't read like some of the comments. Wanda said no trust in the relationship, but I feel if somebody gets out of character for a phone, you are hiding something. Patricia agreed with her.
Of course,
but guess what? I'm going to be the devil's advocate here. What if he did have something to hide, and his strategy was, let me get her the Chipotle and all that stuff. Now she feel bad because she went through his phone, and she won't go back in the phone again. I'm just saying.
Of course she will.
He's smooth. He's smooth.
Because she wasn't satisfied with that first time.
Yeah, because she'd be like, I know I missed something. So I gotta go dig.
Would always be there, yeah.
But again, insecurity is going to breed that regardless. And again, we don't know this person's history. We don't know this person's trauma. We don't know this person's what's gone on in this relationship for her to feel that way. And again, is the person young? Is the person older? There's so many factors,
And phones
I would say
an issue. We know phones are issues. There's a lot of things that's going around these phones, right?
Next.
One thing I wanted to say while we took this hiatus, Shemet also agreed with what I said. She said, yes, Debbie, I was thinking that too. He was flipping it on her. I'm just saying. You just never know. Anyhow, during our little 4-week hiatus, was there anything that you guys did, accomplished, anything new that popped up? I guess for me, I'll say I cut. I just felt like I wanted to do something different, let some old hair go, and start new. So, anything that you guys did during the 4 weeks, and the viewers as well.
Well, I finally went back to the movies after maybe 2.5 years. So, and I used to go to the movies every week, maybe like twice a week sometimes. And for like 2.5 years, I haven't went. So, I mean, COVID was a part of that, plus other things was a part of that too. But finally went back. So, and the both movies was very good. So that was good. So
How
that's
about
something. And I don't know. Just been doing all kind of different things. Just trying to just enjoy life. That's it.
me too? How about you two? Anything new in the 4 weeks?
I just been busy working. That's about it.
Yeah, that's it. Work, spend a lot of time, spend time with the children. So that's always a good thing.
Cool. That's cool.
Spend time with them hours. That's a good thing. Spend
Okay.
time with the family.
Okay.
It was much needed though. I'm telling you, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I had a move during that time too. So it was time well spent for those 4 weeks.
I
Okay,
was
so
never
let's
home on a Thursday night when we had the show. You realize that I always had someplace to go on a Thursday night.
wow.
Yeah.
Well, I want to get to what time is it? I want to get to the topic at hand. I saw somebody, a friend of mine, I hadn't seen him pop up in there, old classmate Eric, made a comment. But the question that we are tackling tonight is one of Lucien's questions, which is, would you date you? Be real about it. Let me pull my chair a little closer to the screen for this one. And we had a lot of comments. What was the most interesting to me is that a lot of people took that question very differently. And that just speaks about communication and how people perceive things. For me, and also I posted a video today, the reel, and they were talking about that same topic some time ago. And for me, when I heard that question, the only thing I thought about do I feel that somebody would be interested in dating me? And my answer was yes. And am I dateable? Yes. Other people saw it a different way. Look, how do I do this the next way?
I go last. I go in last. Let me go
Okay,
last.
yeah, you go last. So I say, again, I don't know if anybody had a chance to watch the video I posted today, but I agree. I felt like I agreed the most with Tamara. And she basically was saying that she thinks that she's an all-around cool person to date. Her qualities make her dateable. What was, you asked the question, Lucien. So what do you have to say about that?
I think that the younger me, hell to the no. I think me now, I would definitely date me. I have simmered down.
Why?
Why? Because I'm a different person and my mentality is different. The way how I look at life is different. The way how I look at relationships are different.
Expound.
She likes to be
I just think that the stuff that I used to do, I no longer do. So I just had to.
You gonna get cussed.
We're gonna leave that as a broad statement. Broad.
The show is broad.
So over the year, I have over the years, like I just grown, and then too is just like just certain behaviors as you get older, you just need to stop.
And what?
Like being,
so what about
being an angry woman? You know what I'm saying? Like that needs to stop at some point in your life. I don't know when, but
but Lucien, what about your older self?
My older self?
Yeah, I mean your younger self. was the one or two things that stood out the most that you definitely feel you've changed, or would have made you less dateable back then?
You're trying to leave it broad.
What make you dateable, Lucian? Down. Be clear.
She said, "Be clear." Twin two.
Thanks, Twinny. I can't see.
I mean, it's just about maturity, man, and just growing up. That's all it is. You know, putting your life into perspective. When you're younger, you know, some people they mature faster than others. I had a good run, so it was time to grow up. And who put a violin there? Put up it.
Mr. Grantley. Louis, how about you?
When I think when we first asked that question remember we talked about that in our little behind the scenes. You guys, the first thing I said was I would run. I said that, but I mean that I clearly didn't mean it like that. And the reason why I said that earlier too, I talked about being in a space trying to develop myself a little bit more financially, of course, a little bit more spiritually, and if I would be dateable, I think so, because this would be a good time to build together. I think, I personally feel, but I have some good qualities, and of course we all have bad qualities too. That's where compromise come in. I think I'm a nice person. I'm a very affectionate person. Some people can't deal with that. Some people might think, I was told sometimes I can be a little too heavy, so I have to tone that down a bit. I'll never forget. I'll never forget that. That one stuck. That one gonna stick with me.
What Karen said? Run from the Latino to the love hard.
What?
The Latinos are love hard.
Yeah. Definitely. That's the Spanish blood. You know what I mean? So yeah, that's it.
Wait, let me before we go to Trina, let me read some of the comments that were in there, because of course our YouTube family can't see it. Amber said, Amber in college for sure. And then Lucian asked her, so why not the Amber now? She said she's closed off. Again, I respect her honesty. We had our back conversation, and I'm sure she doesn't mind, but Halima also said that she wouldn't date her either. She's not interested in dating. And I think, I really have to applaud people for being honest about that, because if you're putting yourself out there and you know that you're not in a position for someone to date you, it's not fair to them. It's not fair to yourself, but it's not fair to other people as well. If you know that and I think people need to be a lot more honest about that. I always ask the question, why do you want to be in a relationship? Again, why do you want to date? And I think you need to make that clear for yourself as well as others. Cynthia wrote, I would love to date me. I would marry me. Diane,
Who said that?
My friend Cynthia Moore. Then Diane Cornelius said, the Diane now, yes, I sure would. We said, without a doubt. Deborah Felix said, quick, fast, and in a hurry.
Boom.
Maya Pickney said, absolutely not. I learned my lesson about dating other people with mental health issues. Again, people need to be honest, and I applaud people for saying that. The majority of the people, to me, when I went through it, said that they would. There was someone else, Deandra, said I wouldn't. I'm hard on myself and others. I'm emotional and I have a painful chronic illness. I'm pretty sure I can be hard to be around.
But Debbie, they take a look different for people too. For some people, it depends on what their perception, right? What their perception.
And again, that's true. What is somebody's definition of dating?
Dating.
Just
be going out, hanging out, having a good time with meeting people, or if you're looking for something a little bit more grounded, a little bit more solid, that changes things. That changes your position.
True.
Definitely. I mean, if it's to go out and hang out and meet people, Sorry. Hell yeah, I'm a good time. You know what I mean? Of course I would be dating me, but for I'm silent right now, I still working on me. Give me a minute. Now if you come together and we work together, that's different, but I ain't ready for it yet. And that's real.
I applaud you for that.
Yeah.
Trina, when you heard that question, what did you hear?
Watch Lucien.
He pulling up his chair. I don't think I answered the question. I was like,
I didn't see you respond.
I was like, it's too much. My first response was no. I wouldn't date me. Your chair pull up, Lucian. Why I wouldn't date me? I was like Lonnie. I like differentness. I look at my fears, and I have a lot of them, and I always admit that I have my fears. Not to hold on to my fears, but to acknowledge that I do have them. I don't want somebody who have my fears. But see, we only talking about dating. So, because when I was looking at this situation, I said, no, dating and being in a relationship is two different things. Being on a first date versus being on a 10th date. I had to look into things deeper. I had to take things a little bit farther than normal people do. I can't help myself. Maybe I have too much free time on my hand to think all kind of stuff. I don't know what to say. So would I date myself? Just to go out on a first time date, a second date, yeah. Would I be in a relationship with myself? Nah. I want different. I want you to teach me. I want to help. I want differentness. I want to learn from you. And even in a date, like on a first time date, would I actually go with my God? Because I like to listen to people and I like to learn things. So for me, what a conversation gonna go if it's conversation with me. Like you gotta take me someplace different. I gotta listen. So I changed my mind on I'll go on a first date with me. I don't want to go on a first date with me. I want to know different things. I want to learn. I want to have interesting, mind-sparking conversations. So not that I don't have them. I just want to learn new things.
Somebody post a bunch of violins here.
It got to be.
But again, it's perspective, because honestly, when I saw that question, I didn't think about it as would I date me, meaning the person is a reflection of me in terms of characteristics. I didn't see it that way. I just felt when I heard that question was, would I date? Do I feel like I see it as a question as, am I dateable? Am I likable? Am I positive enough?
Is that the question? Was that the
again? It's perspective. It's how you see it. Because, like I said, when they asked that question, immediately all the other three ladies on that panel answer the question. I think I'm fun. I think I'm this. I'm classy.
But then what's the dark side of us? What's the dark side of us?
Everybody.
And that's the thing too. Is just like you can't just look at the good characteristics you have. What about the bad characteristics? The stuff that I'm moody. I'm this way. I'm that way. So that's why I posted the other question after that. Like, I can't remember what that one is at the moment, but I remember I posted it afterwards. Like, are you? Yeah.
Pinky just mentioned that. That was pretty dope. What Pinky said. She came out. She was like, "No, I wouldn't." And most of us. I said the same thing. I wouldn't. Definitely not now.
Yeah, but I think
if it's gonna hang out, if we're gonna hang out, it's just platonic. If we're gonna have a good time, oh yeah, I'm definitely down for that. It's like that next post that came out about on the first date. Let's go to open houses. I thought that was I would do that. I think that would be I think that
same thing. And Pinky was like, "What?"
No, I would do that in a heartbeat. I would do that. That sounds like a whole ton of fun.
For the viewers on YouTube, there was a question. Well, it was actually I think it was a TikTok, where this guy was saying it would be interesting as a switch up for a first date. Was it a first date or just was it a date?
First date was a first date.
First date would be to go to an open house, and he was given his reasons why, like going to an open house would have been very different, out the box, kind of different thing. And I told Pinky, I was like, listen, we had the back conversation. and maybe I shouldn't be saying people's names, but somebody mentioned that for them, they thought first dates should happen like at a Starbucks. For me, I feel like a Starbucks, the table is small. Yeah, like to me, it's kind of intimate because you're right next to the person, you're in each other's face. I like things going on. I like things, other things happening, because what if it's ends up like the conversation isn't good or whatever, and usually Starbucks are not at a place where there's a whole bunch of scenery.
But that's what first date is. That's what first date is all about. Like, to me,
it's talking. Yeah,
if you go
you
on a
want
first date,
they want big steak dinner. They want a surf and turf. Let me get the surf and turf, and you know that you ain't going up with a man again. Let's sit down and talk about some stuff, right? Let's sit down and talk over some coffee. And if you think it's not going to go any further, that's good. That's what $3.95. I mean, like.
But look at that. You look at that. You see, you just said $3.95. That date at the open house is free. And you get to see how that person interacts with other folks, how they are as an individual. You know what I mean? I thought it was a dope concept. I would definitely do that.
How people interact at a restaurant. You will get to see how a person interacts.
You could go eat afterwards.
The person suggested Starbucks. Yeah. And I tell Debbie when because she has seen it before me, and then she tell me about it. Then I went on. I couldn't even watch the full thing in Cannes. I was like, nah, I don't. I'm not watching it. This is not for me. To me, a first date, I want to get to know you. I want to sit down. I want to see your face. I want you to see mine. I want to see what you're saying. I want to see your body language. I want to hear exactly what you're saying. Why are we going to our open house? Me and you ain't building a house together. Me and you ain't buying furniture. Like, why are we going to an open house about places? Like, we ain't living together. Like, what are we talking about? We're going on a date. I don't even know if I'm going to go on a second date with you. Why am I going to look at furniture or a fan or curtains? I'm like, this is ridiculous. I was like, no.
I'm just saying, like, who's talking about this? Money is such a small issue. Most women can pay their way. Steak dinner is nothing.
That's the twin.
Who said that?
That's who?
That's her twin.
Love the twin. Love the twin.
Pinky's twin.
Her twin?
Yeah, because look, if the first day trying to take me to the open house, like Louis said, perfect. It's free. Like, the first thing coming through my mind is homie cheap. That's the first thing. Homie cheap. Like,
but Pinky, that's because you might have like a little bit of issues when it comes to that too, though.
Big time. But Pinky, you can go eat afterwards. I mean, that's just.
Yeah, you can go and eat afterwards.
That's just like, that's just breaking the ice, man. That's all that is. You know what I mean? It's just something different. I don't think.
And I catch what Louis saying.
I want to see
Pinky,
sweating when I ask you a question. Because
Pinky, the thing about it is this, right? You go to the open house, you see that she has like bad social skills. You don't go to dinner afterwards. Boom.
I could see you got bad social skills at the restaurant.
But if you go out now, she's very sociable. She's pleasant. Let's go have a steak dinner, baby. Let's go.
You could see that at the restaurant. You could see that at a Starbucks. You could see how people interact with people.
And it's just a different approach, Pinky. It's nothing. There's no right or wrong to it, There's no right or wrong. It's just a different approach. It's perspective again. It's how you see things, and I just think it's a dope idea. I think I would definitely do something like that.
Definitely, yeah.
It's totally different.
Luis, you would like that. I could see Janos like that.
Hell yeah! Are you kidding me?
Look at that color coach.
Listen, you know one of my first dates when I moved to New York was the observation deck of the World Trade Center and the Empire State Building. I'm just saying, no, but what do you mean that's different?
That's different.
That's not Starbucks and a dinner or a restaurant or eating anything. That's going out and being around people and just, doing something different.
That's different.
It's something different.
Pinky.
I was 18. I was 18.
Likes the idea of an open house.
Say that again?
Your twin says she likes the idea of an open house.
The beautiful thing about having a twin is that realize in life that even though you have a lot of things in common, you have a lot of things that's not in common. So she could go to the open house. She just buy a house. She would love an open house.
But I'm just saying, it's not to say that this is what somebody would do every time, but it's an option, and it's like it's creative. Like I never would have thought of something like that. And to me, I thought that would be something different, you
You
know.
like that? I rather go to an observation deck. I rather go look at stones. Take me to a museum. Take me to the zoo.
But again, this also speaks to if you're talking to someone and you all decide that you're going to go on a date, knowing how you want to invest in that first or second date, number one, and number two, knowing what you really like and what would be interesting to you. Because I think a lot of times people just do a dinner or because that's what people do.
It's so traditional.
Why you can't come up with something different?
Yeah.
You know, Louis.
I am not for all the tradition. I remember a guy had offered. He was like, "Oh, I can't wait till you." When I was sick, he was like, "I can't wait till you feel better, so I could take you out to dinner." And I was like, "That's just so boring." But you know, it could. A dinner could be boring, but at the end of the day, it's who you're going with. It's the conversation. It's the company. It's not the dinner. It's the company. It's getting to speak to the person. It's getting to know the person.
But you said the first thing that you said. But the first thing you said was you think it's a cheap date.
It's free.
That's the first part.
But you should just said a first date could be going to the park.
The park, yeah.
You could go to the park. You see, it has nothing to do with just necessarily being free. But if this guy wants to just take me, a park is different. Look, this is just Pinky. This is me. Everything has to have a purpose and it has to have some kind of meaning behind it. Just to simply go to an open house to see furniture and curtains is not my cup of tea. Like,
okay, well, let me
get Vincent to do that when we were buying a house. He was like, "You go do that."
See if I went. See if I went.
Okay, but wait, listen. Someone, her name is on here is Rebel Lion. She said, "I think intimate first dates make it easy for people to pretend they know they're being watched. When you do something like the open house, you're both preoccupied and can let your guards down." Okay.
Well said, your rebel lioness.
Exactly.
Lioness, I hear what
well said, the lioness.
I feel like if I'm watching something else, if I'm watching cartoons, I am not watching the individual. And this is not to say nobody's wrong. I just, for Pinky, this is all Pinky saying. Pinky like to watch things. So if I'm watching cartoons and I'm watching rugs and I'm watching couches, I ain't paying attention to the person who in front of me. If I distracted, I'm not a good multitasker. Debbie will tell you that. So for me, I have to be zoned in. I don't mind going to a park and sitting down in nature, watching ducks. See, that's my cup of tea. But see, furniture is not my cup of tea. So that's the difference.
Okay,
I don't mind. You know what I'm saying? Like,
well, you keep saying furniture. You keep just making it seem like it's just about going to watch furniture. It's the experience of being and interacting with that individual in that different environment. It's an unorthodox approach to dating. That's what makes it interesting.
Listen, wait, let me interrupt. Kiora's here with us.
Hey, Kiora.
My favorite first date was a walk on the dock, and there was a reggae event happening nearby, so you could hear the music, but it wasn't too loud, so we could have a good conversation. Shemet said another TikTok that guy posted as a potential first date was taking a dance class. She said, "I like that idea too. I would like to do something other than just eating for first dates. I don't think anyone needs to break the bank. That doesn't mean, oh shoot, what just happened? It jumped. That doesn't mean that they are cheap or broke." Wanda said at 18, you can't afford a big date. Well, some of the 18-year-olds making money on social media.
Listen, let me tell you, I was in New York. We went to the World Trade, and then we went to Uno's. Remember Uno's? You remember Pinky? You remember Uno's in the village?
Yeah.
Oh, that was some good food.
I used to go.
Yeah.
I like the walk. I even like what Shemet said about the second date, like doing a dance or something. You know, because you sitting down, there is times where you're interacting with the partner.
Whoa. So it wasn't a second. It wasn't a second date. He gave an idea.
It doesn't matter. Again,
so you wouldn't mind dancing personal space with somebody on a first date.
Well, okay, maybe now you put it like that, intimate space. Okay, maybe for intimate space, maybe not. But and it depends, because they're gonna be classy. You're gonna be in a class. Ain't nobody gonna be like doing no dirty dancing or
It's not about that. What if the person's hygiene is not on point? What if the person is a whatless kind of dancer? What if the person doesn't have rhythm?
You're hurting Pinky head right now.
That's what I'm saying. There's so many things.
My point is, the furniture. Okay, I back to the furniture, Luis, because I cannot get over the furniture. Okay, to me, I've been to 100 open houses. So for me, and a date and an open house, all I seen is furniture, rugs, and that's all I could see. That's like going to a furniture store and a first date.
Pinky, you have a home. So if you went on a first date like that, maybe you might see something that you didn't even think about upgrading in your house or doing in your house. It's not even about that person or what you and this person will inevitably do later on down the road. Halima just said, Pinky is just a traditional person. She's not about being unorthodox.
Thank you, sweetheart. But actually,
that's very true.
Thank you, honey. But it's actually not so, because I would, like I said, I would rather go look at a rock collection than go to an open house. So that is not traditional. What I'm saying is, maybe I just have an issue with going to an open house. Let me just leave it there. I don't mind the dance class.
Leave well enough alone.
I don't mind sitting. So it has to be something that I like to do.
Well,
let me just put it that.
So Matt said it could be a line dance class. Then that way there's no touching. And the Rebel Lion said a dance class for her is too close for a first date. I don't know you enough to let you in my personal space. That's how I feel too.
Well, I've never been on a date with somebody that they actually know. So for me, again, we always have to remember things are coming from people and their experiences, right? Me, I don't have a lot of history with dating. I don't have a lot of experience. And the 2 dates that I've been on, I knew the person. Okay, the first person, I don't know if I wanted to dance with them. The second person, I wouldn't mind dancing with them. So it all depends on the situation, right? I do not like the idea of looking at furniture. So maybe that's just me, the idea of a furniture and the first date. And I want to know that when somebody wants to take me out, they want to invest something in me. So when I say it's free and all of that, this has nothing to do with money, because I could care less about money. You could take me out and take me for ice cream because I like ice cream and it's $3 and it's just as fine. Or you could take me and buy me an icy that's $1 and it's just as fine.
So Trina, we get it. Thank you so very much.
Well,
Debbie,
I keep explaining myself.
Debbie, next question, please. Next question.
Wait, also let me give a thing. Halima said a cooking class is also a great first date.
See, I don't want to do that.
No, because I know she was looking at furniture, so she don't want to look at pots and pans. So let's keep it moving.
Okay, so along the lines, I haven't posted it yet, but I'm gonna also post the video by Matthew Hussey, and he also answered that same question: would you date yourself? But his take on it was that he felt like people need to take an exercise. And again, this is probably not something maybe men would do unless you're enlightening or you're at a different place in your life. And he says that you write down the standards you're looking for in a date. And again, for me, it's whether it's just a date or whether it's somebody you're hoping to have a long-term relationship with, right? And he said, like, just write all the standards, chivalry, generosity, just different things. And then he said, then you're supposed to look at it and say, do you live up to the standards? Because that's another thing. People, we've talked about this too before, and that's why I applaud the people who say that they're not ready. Again, like Louis said, whether they're looking to just date, just to have something to do, or they're looking for something committed, right? But he said that you should go through the whole process, because again, if you can't even live up to a third of what you're expecting of somebody else, maybe you should just not date.
Kamate.
But do we know all of that on our first date?
No, but you know about yourself. You know, the question is about you. Are you dateable? Do you, again, you know how I have my list. And we'll come back to that as well. That's if you're looking for me, the list is more about if you're looking for something long term. But if you're putting yourself out there to date, just make sure that you really are somebody that somebody would want to date. That's just all I'm saying. Otherwise, you need to be working on yourself, and you can hang out with your friends and your family instead of.
But Debbie, that takes a certain amount of awareness as well.
It does.
Because
But
a lot
that's
of
why
people,
we're saying that to people.
yeah, a lot of people there will sit down there and be like, "Yeah, I'm perfect," and they're a hot mess. You know what I'm saying? So the thing about it is having that awareness to understand that if you're dateable or not. You know what I'm
But
saying?
that's the thing. A lot of us only looked at the good aspects of ourselves, right? We didn't look at the bad parts. Everybody said they're dateable.
No,
Oh no,
not
I said I.
everybody.
Well,
Not
90%,
everybody.
80%, 90,
Yeah,
90.
I mean, the majority of the people did say that they are dateable, but there was a lot of.
Right, and that's
Well, you
and,
are to a certain degree.
and that's why Debbie, when the last question I asked was like, do you take responsibility for anything, for any for your wrong in
For
the
the demise
relationship?
of your last relationship.
Yeah, so everybody's like, they're saying that they're such a great person in the previous post, but then now like, can you actually like say like, yeah, I did this or I didn't do that, or can they actually say that? A lot of people can't say that because in some people's eyes they're not responsible. Even if you were like aiding to the narcissistic tendency of your mate, that's also a reason why your which could have ended. Because the thing about it, you didn't stand up for yourself. You didn't put like the you didn't no, yeah, like you didn't stand up for yourself.
Mhm.
You know.
But that's why, again, for me, I keep going back to this, and we always have new people on here. That's why it's really important. We Louise have that conversation, but it's not just have the conversation with other people. Have a conversation with yourself. Have a conversation with people who are in your circle who are going to be honest. Because again, what you see and what other people's experience could be two different things, And again, we always talk, a lot of this group we talk about, because we have so many people in here that are single. We always talk about other people and what we want in other people and what we're looking for. But at the end of the day, like, we need to work on us. We need to make sure that we're showing up, because that contributes to how a lot of things go. And I just think that a lot of people are not honest with themselves. And if you have these conversations, like I said before, I've been fortunate that I have male friends. And that's why, we have males and females on this panel, because I think a lot of people end up being in circles that are like them. And then it doesn't allow them to work on the things that they need to work on, and I just think that people need, if you really truly want the best, if you really truly want love, you got all these things are reciprocal. You have to give to get, and we just have to work. And I think as a community, a lot of times we don't have these conversations. We don't have these conversations with our kids. We don't have these conversations in our homes. We just go out there and live life. And I just think that we would be I mean, we're already at this stage, but if we, our younger self would be so much better if we had these conversations about how we show up in life,
But then too, Debbie,
Mhm.
sometimes our younger self ain't ready to hear it. Those serious conversations.
That's true. But I also think for us as, okay, I'm 34, but I can say this: when I'm around my kids and their friends, my godchildren, I have these conversations with them, because to me, at the end of the day, how are they going to learn if we don't have these conversations with them? And
But
so,
this is another thing we have to understand. We learn from
mhm.
experiences. Experiences is the best teacher. And
Sometimes.
sometimes, but it could be, right? Not because we tell people things, because we know this for our own self. People told us things and we still had experiences, right? The thing with what you said, Lucian, about people taking responsibility, and you use the excuse about of a narcissist, right? We have to be very careful of a message that we're sending, because if you're involved with people who got mental issues and you ended up in a relationship with them, not understanding certain things and knowing certain things, you got behavioral disorders or whatever, and you enter into the relationship and you're an innocent bystander and you taking on responsibility. It's like the woman who's getting abused, who is saying, well, it's my fault because it's my fault. Because sometimes we have to just really truly put the ownership where it belongs. And sometimes it's just on the person for showing up as however they are. If you're an abuser, if you have mental illness, if you have whatever you have, that's on you. If you're a dishonest human being and you have a list of lies and people buy into that lies, we have to be careful that we are not taking on other people's problems. And I had to learn that lesson. Your problem is yours, mine is mine. But the second thing is, when we're younger in life, we're just immature. We can't be at 34, me approaching 50, and remembering when I was 20, because hindsight is 2020. I look at my 22-year-old. She's not me. I've had life and I've had multiple experiences that has gotten me to where I am today. So we have to be very, very careful. Life is a process. You're going to learn on the journey. We're going to make a heap of mistakes. It's a part of life.
I agree with Pinky.
Advice we get.
I agree with Pinky to a certain degree, because you can give, like you said, your offspring or the younger generation, you can give them tools, right, or sort of, guidelines to try and walk a certain path, but you got to learn for yourself.
True.
You're gonna create your own experiences in life. That's how you learn.
That's how you put it. You have to create your own experiences in life. Because our life has to be shaped based on the individual. Our life is not going to be shaped based on our parents and what our parents said. So we have to have our own experiences. And we will be determined. That's a part of youth. A part of our youth is the rebellious stage, finding out who we are, making decisions, not based on what other people tell us, but what we want to do. And if we look at each and every one of our lives, we may have a lot of things in common with our parents, but we took our own path. Each and every one of us took our own path.
Some of us did.
None of us are identical. Everybody's unique in this world.
I'm talking about the outside influences, but that's one more.
Wanda said people need to understand it's a whole package. Looking healthy and attractive, positive attitude, humbleness, have goals, to name a few. So it is a whole package. But again, I applaud those for being honest, that they are, at this stage, they're not dateable. They shouldn't be dating. Because I don't think there's a lot of people, I've never really heard a lot of people say that. I've heard people say, yeah, I really, but then they still go out and date. So for me to hear people say no, or again, Lucian, for you to say your younger self, I saw a lot of people that said that too. And just having that and being honest about that, I applaud. I still think I know I'm good. But anyway, is there anything else that y'all wanted to talk about? Quiet. I can't believe it.
As in pertaining to that subject?
I know it was heavy at the end, but again, we have these lighthearted conversations, and like we tell everybody, none of us are professionals, but in a sense, I will say we're professional in the sense that we all have experiences, right? We have life learning experiences, and hopefully we've learned from them and we're growing from them. But it's just really important to have these conversations amongst your family, your friends, your coworkers. We have back conversations that are really intense but enlightening. And so one of the things that we discussed is that next week we are going to talk about another topic that Lucian posted up. Yeah. Didn't we say we were going to talk about that?
Right.
And that topic, that the post that he made was, well, it was something that he shared, and it was basically talking about the type. So we're gonna talk about that next
Not
week.
a topic.
And again, these are things that either can create a situation where you're stuck. It could create standards. It can create a whole bunch of stuff for you. But that post garnered a lot of comments as well. So I will make sure that I pin it to the top. So for those people who didn't get to see it, get to see it.
I have a question for you. So, for people who are on YouTube, how can they see stuff like that? Can we share somehow, or?
No, because YouTube is really video. It's not posts per se.
The Instagram.
And I just want to let everybody know we have created an Instagram page, Love and Enlightenment USVI. So definitely go over there and follow us. It's new, so we're still like posting things. Shamet wants, yeah. I'm going to Shamet. I'm gonna pin it up at the top so everybody can see that post. That got a lot of views and a good amount of comments too, but we definitely want more comments on that.
What?
On the one that we're going to talk about next week, about the type.
Or the type.
Yeah.
I'm gonna behave.
I'm
gonna behave on that one. I promise.
Wanda said, "Would you date someone that is 50 and looks and behaves like they are 70?"
That's a post, or Wanda make a
No,
comment?
she just asked that question.
What was the question?
Would you date someone that is 50 and looks and behaves like they are 70?
Wanda, answer that question for me, please. I want to hear your perspective. I love your perspective on damn near everything. Me personally, no. No.
I just think that it all comes down to the person's heart and how they feel, the kind of person that they are.
I mean, again, it's relative when you say 70. I know some 70-year-olds that are energetic.
She said if you're 50 and you're acting 70.
Okay, but that's what I'm saying. There's
50 and look 70. Did she not say look 70?
70-year-olds that act younger. So
Did she say act or look 70? I didn't hear that.
she said,
Act and look 70.
Act and look. So you're saying a 30-year-old acting 50, 20 years older. They might look 20 years older. They might act 20 years older, but they got the energy of a 30-year-old. Debbie, that's what you're saying?
I didn't say 30.
No, I said 20. I just used a 20-year difference.
I know, but I'm just saying that. I don't know. She said, I think she just said look and act.
Wanda,
Well, maybe. Well, I mean, the thing about it, you gotta think about it this way: do you want a mature partner, or you want somebody who's gonna be still doing the same immature things? If they're acting like they're 70, that means that they have a sense of maturity.
But this is what I'm trying to say. I know people that are 70 or close to 70, and I hear what she's saying. Look and act. So are we assuming that because somebody is 70, they're slowed down? They don't really do. I know a lot of retired people.
He's
hey,
50.
as a matter of fact, Dr. Williams, happy birthday, just turned 65.
He's 50.
He's running every single day. He don't cook.
Okay, I hear what you're saying, but
you understand what I'm saying? I'm just saying, what are you basing the reason why you would or would not date? Are you basing on who that person really is? Are you basing
is the person boring? Like Halima just asked, like if the person is boring. So the person boring?
Again, it would need more to that comment
I would
because
not date a 50-year-old that's acting 30, nor would I date a 50-year-old acting 70. I would not date a 50-year-old that's acting 20, nor would I date a 50-year-old that's acting 80. It's okay to act your age. It's okay to be mature for your age.
What is
And
acting
at
50?
50, I think we are at a mature age at 50. Okay, so I don't want an immature 50-year-old either, right? But if God bless me to be 70 years old and I get there, I know I am not going to have the energy, nor am I going to have the same appearance that I do at 50 years old. So let me enjoy the 50 and let me cross the bridge when I get to 70 when I get there. So for Pinky, I ain't no, thank you. What I did
okay. She said, don't play with me. They're 50 years old, looking like 70 and moving like 70.
Thank you, Wanda. I don't need you on my side sometimes because I don't know that I know that's what you said. I said not Pinky.
Looking like 70?
You
Wow,
know,
that's
he
rough.
said it would depend on the person. Again, actually, you know what? This is a good segue because that comes down to type as well.
He's not my type. It's okay.
Shay, let me see. Shay Marie said if someone is 50 and acts and looks 70, they oldish bad.
They had a rough life. They had a rough life.
Rough life. Shoot. Hard knock, my boy.
Yeah, but we talking ladies too, because Lucian and Louis would I date a 50-year-old woman looking 70.
Now what?
The question wasn't just.
It wasn't about for the women. That question was for everybody.
Exactly. Would you males, the both of you that we're watching and the guys that's watching the live, would you date a 50-year-old woman who is looking and acting 70 years old?
Nah.
Because I seem to have been the only person who was saying I wasn't going to do
Nah.
it.
Nope. There you have it. I don't think I need to.
RJ, so what happened to being young at heart? RJ, would you?
Yeah,
I'm asking you the question.
No.
Well, when is it looking like 70? What do you mean looking like 70? What are supposed to? What's
they look run down.
What does 70? What 70 look like? I mean,
70 look run down.
Oxygen or something.
That's what you claiming for yourself?
If what?
That's what you claiming for yourself. So you're gonna look run down at 70?
Oh, me? I'll tell you this.
I'm good at 70, but I'm not gonna look like I look at 50.
My father looks damn good for 74. He's
My father
he is
84 and he looks good for his age.
Yeah.
That's all I'm gonna say.
See?
That's all I'm gonna say.
And
wait. And he's 84, and I have an 18-year-old sister. So all I gonna say is, I'm embracing them genes, not the children, but I'm embracing them genes. He looks good for 84. So
there you go. I would, like I said, I would.
Let me ask you this question, since everybody, the 20-year makes no difference. So Lucian, Louis, Debbie, what I is saying is that the body you're in and the appearance you have right now and your style in comparison to somebody 20 years younger than you are, 30 years old, it's the same. Like if you say a 30-year-old now, which is my son, which is your daughter, and they looking and acting like us, there's nothing wrong with that? That's okay?
No, that's good. They're mature. But they look good for the age. I mean they look the age though. I mean, my problem is that you're 50 you're looking like you're older.
The question was look and act. We can't change it, Lucian. Look and act.
Oh, her point. This is her point. She said, listen, we got some young folks looking rough and want to know why they can't get a date. So that's her point.
So maybe they should date an older person.
No, it's like she said, because if I was 50 walking around looking old, because it applies to me too. It doesn't apply to just the 30-year-olds or the 20-year-old. It applies to me at 50, right? A single 50-year-old woman, right? If I walking around looking like 50, I dressing like 50, and I can't get a date, would I not look at myself, my appearance, and how I showing up in the world?
But they have to be aware of it. If you just dressing all the time and going out, and you think that you looking sharp, then in your mind you sharp. You know,
But
when you're older,
obviously, I'm not getting any dates, like Wanda saying. Like you ain't
well,
getting
then they want to,
dates.
because then they go blame, then they're gonna deflect it and say that no, it's not me, it's them.
You
Nobody
just
wants
said,
to.
listen, you have younger children, right? Go to them, let it consult with them for your style, so you don't look like a 70-year-old person. How about that?
You know what I'm saying? Or stop dressing with. You
Yeah.
stop wearing
If
your
you,
clothes from back in the
I'm
70s.
I'm worried of looking or act looking. I'm looking at 70 look like. I try to figure out what 70 look like. And if you're talking about run down, somebody old and run down, that's because somebody had a really rough past. Because there are 70-year-old people that are probably look like me. You feel me? Like Lucien said his dad and Debbie said her dad. Shoot, I have a 31-year-old and I have my last one is 9. I don't know why I said that, but anyway, that's fine. I just try to put things like, wow, okay, how old do I look now? You know what I mean?
I mean,
That's my whole thing. Is like now you think about it is like, do I look like an old hat up person?
you
Well,
might,
I have younger kids, and my younger
9-year-old.
kids will keep me, they don't keep me fresh. I mean, when I say fresh, they keep me young, they keep me busy.
Right, but you might to your 9-year-old, you might not to your 31-year-old.
Oh no, they think I old. My kids think I old.
Oh, okay,
But our kids always think that. But I think at the end of the day,
my kids don't think so.
what, that we're
My
older.
kids don't think I look old.
Sorry, I don't know.
They don't laugh at me when I try to listen to music with them, and I'll be like, yeah, check this tune out. They'll be like, "My daddy," you know what I mean?
I know. I mean, yeah.
Yeah.
Like that a day, I tell my son that I was listening to Summer Walker, and he was like, because my youngest had me listening to
She's
Summer
dope.
Walker.
She is
And
nice.
so my son
I
was
like her.
My son was like, okay, mom, I guess you just living up the single and free life because she rough, like I would listen
Well,
to her.
she's
Then my
fly.
son was like, I don't know if I
She's
could be
fly.
like this, Brittany. She'd be saying some stuff that is a little bit too much for me. And I think that's when we don't know where our place is in the wall after a while. Like we're not our children. And we can't act like them. And we can't dress like them either. You know what I'm saying?
You know what? Go ahead, Pinky.
No,
Finish.
that's how I was saying. Like, so for us to either be one where somebody had a post up this week. Oh, I'm gonna send it tomorrow. It was when you're looking for a mature dude, but you have this old dude trying to look like a young dude. It was so funny. It was really good. I have to post that tomorrow. And then Kemma had up a post this week that was asking the question. Oh, she on tonight? She was asking the question, what are the things that we do not talk about in the world today? And my response to that was, we don't talk about ourselves. And Lucian, you were saying that earlier, because we don't talk about everything else, the weather, COVID, how another person show up, how another person did to us. But do we really actually look at ourselves and talk about ourselves? When a person asks you, do we take a minute to talk about self, to think about self?
No, because it's easier to deflect. Like Lucien said, Lima said, if someone tells me I look older than my 43 years, then I need to take a look at my life and see what's stressing me out because I want to look my age, not older.
And somebody did tell me that I was looking older than I actually was. And I had to take a look at myself. So I'm not going to support the you 50 and you looking 70 because I was there, and it was
I am still aware what does that look like in the purpose of this, like in each other's. I mean, everybody have a different view of what 70 looks like.
Right.
I'll send you a picture of what I used to look like.
I'm still there with that because, again, I've seen 70-year-old women. Well, not
Yeah,
70,
but
but
that's
a
a
6-year-old woman that looked like 40.
But they're taking care of themselves. Nobody's saying every 70-year-old is
Exactly.
bad. Nobody, my mother was 85 and she didn't have a wrinkle. So, it's how you take care of yourself. But at the end of it, we don't want to look 20 years older. We're not trying to look 20 years older.
I also
Well,
believe
she said
that
she got young people trying to talk to her married 52-year-old self. So I know I still got it going on. And then RJ said, stop putting limitations on yourself. If you want to act young and silly, that's your choice. To each his own. And with that, would you want to say something, Lucia?
yeah, I think too, like I remember the other day I was like riding around like jamming Jay-Z, you know. You have those days when you want to blast your radio and drive wrong. Just of course, not but 10 minutes before I was like, why these young dudes them gotta be driving around here making all this freaking noise and shit? Like what really going on with these men? Because and then you sit down and be like, yeah, but our generation was raised like with gangster rap. You know what I'm saying?
For real.
It's not like our parents' generation when they had like Al we call it Al Green and the Temptations, all this love. We have all this gangster rap. So it's just like, how do you like sit down and have a conversation with your kid like, that music is very debilitating and you shouldn't be like, listening to it because it's so bad for you. You know what I'm saying? After we hear like, but dad, don't you listen to Jay-Z and and this and that, you know what I'm saying? So it's just a little interesting the way how our generation is like actually growing up. If I don't think we ever gonna grow up, man. It's just a weird vibe, man.
It's true.
But
strange.
I didn't used to listen. Like we post this week the music what our parents listen to. I did not listen to I did not listen to music in the 70s and early 80s. I didn't like them because my brother were older than me and my sister were older than me. That 10 sleep like I wasn't I used to call them the old people music. I didn't want to hear them kind of music when I was growing up. We had our own music. I felt like I had my
No,
own
but Pinky, you listened to it and you didn't even notice it because every single one of Bad Boy hits was songs that they sampled from the 70s and 60s.
right.
And you wouldn't even know that until you be like, wait a minute.
I
What?
I
What?
know. I know. Which
So a lot of that music that we grew up listening to was like samples off of older music.
right.
You know what I'm saying? So that's why I guess that we kind of tie in with like the Al Green and different area because we had like,
Green and Al Green as
yeah.
well. To me, I used to be like, that's old people music. Oh gosh, no.
Well, we are at that time. Again, as I always say, the question was, would you date yourself? And I would just leave this with saying, be honest with yourself, ask yourself that question, and make sure that if you're not, you're working on the things you need to work on. If you want to date, to be dateable. And if you are, and you're requiring of other people that you're showing up in like fashion. That's just my last take. I want to thank everybody for your comments, for your engagement. Continue to invite your friends and family. Ever so often, I go through my invites at the top of the page and I go in and I invite more people. So we're asking for you all to do that. In 3 weeks, we'll be hitting our 1-year anniversary. And for that, we're going to have, I didn't tell you guys, but for that show, I'm not sure exactly what we're going to talk about yet, but for that show, we want everybody to join us in having like a nice, I know it's a Thursday before our walk day, but you can bring a non-alcoholic drink for us to celebrate our 1-year anniversary as a family, LNE family. Again, we have our Love and Enlightenment USVI Instagram that we are going to start putting more content on. And we have our YouTube channel. So invite your friends and family, as well as yourself, to go on and subscribe to the channel, whether you listen to it or not. And, invite your friends and family who are not on Facebook as well. But I want everybody to stay blessed, stay well, and take care. And we will see you next week when we talk about What is your type?
Oh Lord, I'm gonna behave. I promise. I promise.
Good night, all.
Everyone, good night.
All right, take care. Wishing everybody good things, great things, and beautiful things.
Yeah, what do we say?
Yeah.
Good night.
Good night, everybody. Thank you for coming, for listening, for watching.